Welcome everyone to the 141st episode of Politically High Tech with your host Elias. I'm going to be telling you about a couple of things moving forward for the fifth season in the most visually oriented season. One, I'm going to be uploading to three different sites. One is for audio only, Acast, and two is going to be on YouTube for the censored version, and the uncensored version is going to go on Rumble. Okay. I don't think I'll be covering anything too controversial. Maybe a few comments might piss a few of you off, but oh well, can't please everybody. That's just reality. I just can't. So, without the way, we're gonna get into some of the political stuff. This is gonna be a politically oriented episode only. I'm going to talk about strictly politics. What's the political trends of America? And we're going to be focusing really just on Trump and his team. Yeah, that's all it's going to be about. So if you're a Trump fan, well, you might get a mixed bag news. And if you're a Democrat or just anti-Trumper, you're going to get a mixed bag news as well. I am not loyal to any camp, and I'm happy about that. I'm not loyal to Democrats or Republicans. I need to go. We need third party, new parties to come and revamp the American political system. Yeah. So 141 is going to be about politics, okay? 142 is going to be about technology. Technology, AI, video games, board games. Yes, board games are technology. Not all technology is digital. Technology is what we use in our everyday lives. Do some people still use books to read? Yes. That's considered technology. 143 is going to be something random. It could be by a specific niche topic. It could be about spirituality, psychology, philosophy, traditional history, or weird news. Almost anything goes, except for kid shows and kid-friendly topics. I don't deal with that. You go to some other influencer for that, or some other YouTube or Rumble. Yeah, I'm gonna call it Rumble. Yeah, I don't deal with that kind of stuff. So, with that out the way, let's get into business. Let's just jump right into it. All right. So, what do we have here? We have. Look at that, I'm not even prepared. I'll scroll from the beginning. So, Pete Navarro, ex-Trump advisor, has been convicted of contempt of Congress. Very interesting indeed. Very, very interesting. Well, I go get my reading glasses on. Former Trump aide Pete Navarro has been convicted with contempt of Congress, refusing to cooperate with the inquiry into alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. So this is going to be a federal case, one of the main four. Yeah, they say he acted above the law by ignoring the subpoenas from the once Democrat-led House because they had the majority at that time. That's how it works. You have majority of people in the party just to rule each committee. Same rule goes to the same rule goes to the Senate as well. Now, I'm not going to read Bob's comments. It's a sad day in America. All that other stuff. It's convenient for them to say that when they're being locked behind bars. I don't mind this kind of scrutiny of Trump, but let's expand that to Biden and Hillary Clinton as well. Yeah, let's expand that, shall we? So, Navarro, as you may remember, you have a short-term memory loss. He served as a trade advisor to former President Trump. Okay. And then he even talked about the strategy in his book called The Trump Time, according to BBC. Yeah, this is from BBC, British Broadcasting Channel. He was indicted in June last year, arrested by FBI agents while he was boarding a flight to Nashville, Tennessee. and Navarro did chose his allegiance to Trump over complying with the subpoena. And he's saying that executive privilege allows him to keep those communications on the wraps. Well, Judge Mehta does not agree to an Obama nominee. Rule that is no evidence that Mr. Trump, or executive privilege could permit Navarro to ignore the committee summons. And each count could serve him to a maximum of a year. So his max sentencing would be 2 years. That's if convicted. Yep. That's if he is convicted. Well, Trump associates are not as lucky, but try to get Trump. Man, he wins the vast majority of cases. He really does. And I mean, they even got Bannon. He was arrested for 4 months, but now he's remained free because the defense team appeals the conviction. So he could fight for the appeal as well. Yep, and Eric Holder. He was found in contempt, but he wasn't criminally persecuted. This happened in 2012 when Republicans controlled it. So very, very interesting. And another one is from BBC News. Got to give them credit where it's due. In Georgia, that's a jury. They just don't want to get Trump and his team. Well, they got 19 of them already. They also want to get the current senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. He's a Republican, obviously, and two former senators that used to represent Georgia, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue. And there was dissent among the 23. And unlike most juries that they just either approve the case to go to trial or not, they have one of them said, well, they might be politically motivated, maybe appealing to the base a bit. Doesn't mean it's criminal. Political lies are permitted in America, and every other nation. They were close. I mean, they got John Eastman, Rudy Giuliani, and many others. Two jurors voted against recommending charges for individuals accused, disposing of fake electors. And that's very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. And nobody plead guilty. Yep. Nobody. Nobody pled guilty. Not a single person. Attorney Fannie Wallace of Fulton County in Georgia created a special jury council after the 2020 U.S. election, and then they have investigative powers. That's what makes them different. A typical grand jury just has the powers to hear the case presented by a prosecutor. The prosecutor has to convince them to approve this case to go to trial. With the most part, majority vote. If a lot of them say no, it's not going to go through. It's going to be dropped in the hat. Or prosecutors going to try to, prosecutors do pressure the grand jury to say, "Well, are you serious, but he did this, he did that, he stole, he shanked somebody." It could be whatever. And that's what the prosecutor does. I am not a lawyer expert. This is what I know in general. Just say I talk to a decent amount of people. Talking to people could be helpful instead of just drowning your life away in some social media app, such as TikTok, Instagram, Threads, whatever the hell you use, X, Twitter, Facebook, what have you. Yeah. So that's very interesting. And this is far from over. Okay. It is far from over. All right, let's talk about polls. And I'm going to be focusing not on all of them, because I'm going to give a conflicting story. All right. Let's talk about the West Virginia Senate race. This one is interesting because I think Manchin has a chance of actually losing that seat because Jim Justice so far is polling very well. And I'm going to get to why in a minute. So in the primary, Jim Justice beats Mooney. He has 58, Mooney 26. He wins by 32 points. And then they compare these two Republicans against Manchin. Well, the weaker Republican, Mooney, he loses to Manchin by 4 points. Manchin 45, Mooney 41. If Jim Justice goes against Manchin, Justice gets 51, Manchin gets 38. Jim Justice wins by 13. That is pretty significant. So if he wins the primary, he has a good chance of bringing off Joe Manchin. Look at he gets the majority, which you need to secure. Okay, you need to secure that. You secure the majority on vote. That's how you win. You know, a lot of them, and then they measured about the nation going in the wrong direction. More new nations poll is, I would say, in my opinion, it aligns with what I agree with more, even though it should have been at least 70%, and only 28% of those folks says in the right direction. Who are these 28%? I would like to know who are these 28% that votes in the right direction. Because there's wokeness in there. There is this more wokeness. I don't know, or they're doing very well and their policies went through, or these are probably corporate people. Of course, America's doing good for those folks. I mean, folks, I mean, like just the CEO and the board members, not the regular worker. And Rasmussen had a little more conservative outcome, 61% in the wrong direction, 34% says in the right direction. Rasmussen, I like that point now. It's a little bit off to me. That's just my opinion. Of course, Biden's disapproval rating is high. It's pretty high. I'm not going to read all of that. Fine, getting close to it for economists and YouGov. Wrong direction, 64%. Yeah, we need to get that to 70 at least. 70. Congressional approval, 47 disapproval. And we got a 60% approval rating. I don't know. You Congress got to get it together, and it's barely. Republicans only have the majority by 4. Yeah, 4. That's very insignificant. Generic votes have been flipping between Democrats and Republicans. I'm not going to read all that. What else is interesting here? They have polled certain Republicans against Biden. And according to the poll, it's tied with DeSantis with 47-47. Biden beats Ramaswamy by 1. Trump beats Biden by 1. Mike Pence, Tim Scott, and Chris Christie beat Biden by 2. And Nikki Haley beats Biden by 6. Interesting. This is all polled by CNN. Interesting. Let's go to the Iowa Republican Presidential Caucus. Trump has gained the bare majority, 51%. DeSantis, 14. Ramaswamy at 9. Well, Haley's at 10, so she's in third. Yeah, I think Nikki Haley benefited the most from the debate because I gotta say she's the only one that gave a somewhat of a decent performance. Ramaswamy throw a lot of shots, but he also got shut down as well. He's witty. I don't particularly trust Vivek. I don't trust the guy. And I think Republicans shouldn't trust him either. I mean, he did accept Soros' money for Lord. Maybe he needed it at the time. Who knows? Let's see. You know, people could change politically. I mean, Hillary Clinton did start as a Republican. Yeah. Mike Pence started as a Democrat. People change. Yeah, it's possible if you want to defend that. Yeah, and then I'm not going to read no more Rasmussen reports. It can be a bit iffy, in my opinion. I'm just trying to have a dialogue with, of course, two established camps, the Democrats and Republicans, and open a pathway for third parties, create coalitions, like what they do in France, Israel, to support they get you support or become the dominant force. Like, for example, libertarians could take over, lead the Republicans, great. And if the Democrats, if the Green Party could take over, they're very focused mostly on the environment and clean energy. That could be interesting for once. So just Democrat, Republican, and sprinkle a few independents here and there. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share this video with others just to see, see if they like it or not. Spread the message. You'll be helping me out, and I truly, truly appreciate that. I really do. Okay. And with that out of the way, you have a blessed day or night and expect another episode to come out in a couple of days. I don't want to overpromise.